Inception. Planning an idea in somebody's mind without them knowing. It seems like a totally impossible concept. Not on Christopher Nolan's watch. Christopher Nolan created a movie about dreams, and it is absolutely mind boggling. Christopher Nolan has made many other amazing movies like Oppenheimer, Interstellar, The Dark Knight, and many more. Inception's main star is Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my favorite actors. I think he did an amazing job in movies like Don't Look Up and Wolf of Wall Street. Inception involves Leonardo DiCaprio as Cobb, the main character of this film. Killian Murphy as Fishner, the son of a multi-million dollar company. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Arthur, the Robin to Cobb's Batman. A little ironic because Christopher Nolan made some Batman films. This is just one of the parallels in this film and many others. Elliot Page as Ariadne, the architect for the dreams. Marion Cotillard as Mal, Cobb's ex-wife slash widow thing. It's pretty complicated. Ken Watanabe as Saito, the businessman who hires Cobb. Michael Caine as Cobb's father figure. Tom Berenger as Browning. Fishner and his relationship are complicated, but Browning is the godfather of Fishner. The last notable character is Dilip Rao as Yusuf. He creates the sedatives for the dreamers. This way they can have a deeper sleep and not be woken up as easily. Inception starts with a flash forward. This is a part later on in the movie where Cobb enters limbo to find Sato. We know this is limbo because water symbolizes subconscious of someone, and in this movie, your subconscious is constantly flowing and generating new ideas. Limbo is the deepest form of the dream, and Cobb sees his kids, but Cobb can't look at their kids' faces because if he does, he could get stuck in a dream. The next scene in the movie is Sato spinning Maul's totem that Cobb uses, which reminds Cobb
You're
of the
waiting
grief
for a
and
train.
guilt Maul left
Oh,
him
God
after
damn
she
it,
killed
don't do
herself.
this!
A train that will take you far away.
James and Philippa are
You
waiting
know where
for
you
you.
hope this train will take you.
They're waiting
You
for
can't know
us.
for sure,
Oh, look at me.
but it doesn't matter
Oh, God damn it!
because you'll be
Listen.
together.
Sweetheart, look at me.
What is the most resilient parasite?
After watching a second time, the reverse cuts
Bacteria?
between Sato and Cobb, and then
Virus?
Sato younger and Cobb younger,
An
just
intestinal
shows how
worm?
fluent the cuts and the flow of the movie are.
What Mr. Cobb is trying to
Then
say.
Cobb
An
talks
idea.
about an idea to plant it in somebody's mind. Cobb is a deception artist, and he knows how to extract information from you without you ever. I get started with a few clips from the movie. There's a couple lingering questions that need to be answered. What is cinema? How do films create meaningful and emotional connections? And then what do those connections do to you? Cinema is an art. From the director, producer, executive producer, production designer, actors, and tech crew, not to mention the music, especially in this film where the French song that I'm not even going to try to say plays to let the dreamers know how much time they have left. The movie is exactly 2 hours and 28 minutes long, the same way the song is 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Or is this a coincidence? This is the part of cinema that makes it an art, the minute details to make up the whole picture. I watched a review on this movie saying how Cobb is the director, Arthur is the producer, Sato is the executive producer, Ariadne is the production designer, Ems is the actor, Yusuf is the technician, and how movies are dreams. And it makes sense. The way the dreams are all different settings, that way you can tell the difference in dream worlds. The importance of a totem in this movie allows the person in the dream to know if it's a dream or if it's the real world. And with Cobb, when he spins the top, if it falls over, it's the real world. If it keeps spinning, it's a dream. And right here, this is the kick where when you feel like you're falling in a dream and wakes you up, and as you can see, the water comes rushing in the same way your subconscious flows into you and wakes you up when you feel like you're falling.
Such as
Listen to the way Leonardo DiCaprio talks to Ariadne. He uses it like he is the director of the movie, telling her what he wants, what he needs, in the same way he's telling the audience what they need to pay attention to and what they need to understand about a dream.
Our mind continuously does this. We create and perceive our world simultaneously, and our mind does this so well.
I really
that we
like
don't
using
even know
that
what's
close
happening.
up to get the variety of
That allows us
shots,
to get
and
right in the
also
middle of
a good
that
note
process.
is
How?
the
By
music.
taking over the
I
creative
feel like
part,
it
this is
increases
where I
the
need
tension
you.
and
You
allows
create
the
world of the dream.
person watching
You
to
bring the
really feel
subject
in the
into that
movie
dream,
like something's about to
and they
happen.
fill it with their subconscious.
how could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange. Let me ask you a question. You never really remember the beginning of a dream, do you? You always wind up right in the middle of what's going on.
I guess, yeah.
So how did we end up here?
Well, we just came from the,
Use of quick cuts in this movie lets you know that you never know what's reality and what's fake, the same way Cobb's telling her she's in a dream right now.
We're dreaming?
You're actually in the middle of the workshop right now, sleeping. This is your first lesson on shared
Really
dreaming.
pay attention to this next shot where it starts to show shaking, and then when she realizes she's in a dream, this right here. Crazy. They had to use so many cameras. I think it was 600 in the review I watched, and it's 1,000 frames per second to capture this. After all that debris goes flying around, it eventually hits Ariadne and wakes her up, and she asks what was the use of dreaming, and it goes into the real-world practicality of how soldiers would use it to train because they could die and feel pain and experience everything in the real world but in a dream, and they also had more time. In this next clip, Ariadne wants to mess with the physics of a dream. Flip this city in Paris on top of itself. I don't know the name of this film technique because I don't think it's ever been done before. So how can it be named? But this shot is only possible because of the creativity in a dream. I think the reason this movie is so good is the use of a makeshift reality. It allows the creativity in a director to flow wherever his subconscious wants to take them. Christopher Nolan does it in a certain way, the same way an artist designs a painting a certain way. The elements of everything combined is what makes this movie so good and creative. Music, variety of shots, actors, settings, and most importantly, the plot. The only reason Cobb takes this job is because he wants to get back home and see his kids. But during the movie, you get so caught up in completing the mission of Inception, you start to lose sight of the goal. I like the use of this double mirror here where you see the two characters in an infinity cycle of mirrors. This really shows the ambiguity and kind of the feel of the movie, how it's just confusing in a way, but it's still reality and makes sense to them. The scene here uses cross-cutting so effectively to show the events are happening at the same time. Everything in a dream you feel like the real world, so a shifting gravity totally throws off Arthur. The way the hallway spins in the scene is such a cool and creative idea for the fight scene. To make this happen, they had a stationary camera and they had the scene like flip side to side, that way it can show this shifting gravity, because we can't do that in the real world. The scene constantly builds tension from cutting to one guy getting shot at, then the other guy fighting, and it really ropes you into the story. It makes an emotional connection because you don't want either of these people to die because they are trying to do the right thing for Cobb, who is wrongfully punished. This emotional connection Christopher Nolan creates between characters in this movie and you is very difficult. Through the use of different film techniques and a good plot, it allows me to connect because I get so engaged into this movie. Movies are like an escape from reality, the same way dreams are an escape from reality. I like the concept of what is real and fake, and I think it creates a lot of creativeness and allows for more complicated plots to allow you to stay engaged in the movie better. This scene is a super crucial part of the movie because this is when they realize that Cobb did Inception on Maul after saying he knew it was possible but not saying when he did it.
She had locked something away, something deep inside. A truth that she had once known but chose to forget. She couldn't break free. So I decided to search for it. I went deep into the recess of her mind and found that secret place. I broke in.
Here comes Cobb again with this idea and how ideas are like plants and they grow in somebody's mind.
That her world wasn't real.
Music again does a really great job of building tension throughout the silence of the film whenever Cobb or Maul stops talking. And right here they repeat the same thing that Maul said before she kills herself in real life.
For a train. A train that'll take you far away. You know where you hope this train will take you. But you can't know for sure Yet it doesn't matter. Now tell me why.
Because you're together!
Really cool scene there where it cuts from them laying down, the train, and then them waking up. Again, Cobb's going to talk about an idea here and how it was a cancer in her and how that she doesn't like her life and he planted this idea. Final scene in the movie here, Cobb gets the job done and he sees all of his friends and says goodbye. There's some, upbeat, like happier music playing. And he goes to see his dad and go home to his kids. Here it is, the moment of truth. Cobb spins the top. As you can see, it's pretty similar to the scene where it's his memories and he looks at his kids, except this time he sees their faces. So now we don't know if this is a dream or not because we haven't seen the top, and he could be stuck in a dream, but it doesn't matter because he's with his kids and that's the whole point of it. So does it really matter if it's a dream or not? But then it goes back to the top and it's just spinning. Still spinning. Wonder if it's gonna fall over or not. And just like that, the movie ends. What is that? A giant cliffhanger for the end of a movie? Movies are supposed to tell you the end, the resolution, what it's going to be like at the end. Not this one. The ambiguity and the creativeness that Christopher Nolan has throughout the entire movie goes all the way to the end. And as you can see, it doesn't matter if the top falls or not because he's with his family. That's the point of the movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe.